The sound of silence. In the small, secluded village of Eldermore, the nights were eerily quiet. The villagers spoke of an ancient curse, a darkness that prowled when the moon was at its peak. For generations, they adhered to a strict rule: no sound after sunset. One night, a young woman named Eliza arrived in Eldermore. She was an outsider, a researcher fascinated by the village's mysterious history. Eliza had heard the stories but dismissed them as superstitions. Determined to uncover the truth, she rented a small cottage on the outskirts of the village, a place where the locals dared not go. Her first few days were uneventful, though the villagers' nervous glances and whispered warnings about the curse did little to dissuade her. Eliza spent her days in the village library, poring over dusty tomes and ancient scrolls that spoke of the curse's origin. It was said that centuries ago, a cruel landowner, Lord Ethelred, had tormented the villagers, demanding silence after dark to satisfy his deranged mind. One night, the villagers rose against him, but his dying breath cursed them to eternal silence. On the seventh night, Eliza decided to test the legend. Armed with her notebook and a recorder, she sat in her cottage, waiting for the sun to set. As darkness enveloped Eldermore, a palpable tension filled the air. The village fell into an unnatural silence, the kind that seemed to press against her ears. Midnight approached, and Eliza felt a chill. She switched on her recorder and whispered a few words, breaking the silence. The moment her voice faded, the temperature in the room plummeted. Frost crept across the windows, and the faint sound of footsteps echoed from the hallway. Heart pounding, Eliza clutched her notebook, scribbling down her observations. Suddenly, a heavy knock echoed through the cottage. She hesitated, then moved toward the door. It creaked open to reveal a figure cloaked in shadows, its eyes burning with an unnatural light. Eliza gasped, recognizing the figure from the portraits she had seen in the library. It was Lord Ethelred. "You dare defy my curse." His voice was a raspy whisper, yet it filled the room. Eliza stepped back, her mind racing. She had to find a way to break the curse, to free the villagers from this eternal torment. As Ethelred advanced, she recalled an old tale she had read. The curse could be broken by an act of true bravery and self-sacrifice. Summoning all her courage, Eliza spoke, her voice steady despite her fear. "I challenge you, Ethelred. Release these people and take me instead." The room fell deathly silent. Ethelred paused, his burning eyes narrowing. Then, with a chilling laugh, he vanished, leaving Eliza alone. The frost melted, and the temperature returned to normal. She slumped to the floor, relief washing over her. She had done it. The curse was broken. The next morning, the villagers gathered around Eliza's cottage. They were free from the curse, and they hailed her as a hero. Days turned into weeks, and life in Eldermore slowly returned to normal. Eliza continued her research, now a respected figure among the villagers. One night, months later, Eliza decided to revisit the scene of her confrontation with Ethelred. As she sat in the same room, a thought struck her. She picked up her recorder and played back the tape from that fateful night. Her eyes widened in horror as she heard the recording. There was no voice challenging Ethelred, no act of bravery. Instead, the tape played back a chilling whisper, not her own: "The curse is broken, but you are bound." Realization dawned. The curse had indeed been broken, but at a terrible cost. Ethelred had not taken her life, he had taken her soul. Eliza was now the new guardian of the curse, bound to enforce the silence after dark, a silent warden of the night. As the moon rose high over Eldermore, Eliza stood by the window, her eyes now glowing with an unnatural light. The village fell silent once more, for the sound of silence was her eternal burden.